Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining our webinar on Sage Construction Management. My name is Ali Pakalnis, and I will help facilitate today's webinar. Before we get started, here are a few tips on using the Zoom platform so you can engage with our presenters and have the best experience possible. You should see a Zoom toolbar with icons for Ask a Question and Raise Your Hand. Please use the Ask a Question feature to submit a question or comment. If you need any assistance, click on the Raise Your Hand button and I will connect with you to help. We encourage you to ask questions throughout the presentation, and we will do our best to answer them all. If we didn't answer your question, we will follow up with you personally after the presentation. Within 72 hours of the webinar, you will receive a link to download the slide deck and recorded presentation. Today's webinar does qualify for CPE credits. To receive your credits, you must actively respond to 3 out of the 5 polling questions and stay on for the duration of the webinar. If you have any difficulty answering the polling questions, please email elevatelearn@armaninollp.com with questions. And with that, I'd like to introduce you to our presenters, Todd Bowlesby and Callie Jackson.
Thanks, Ali. Hey, everyone. My name is Todd Bowlesby. I'm a senior manager here in our technology consulting practice at Armanino. Callie?
Hi, everyone. I am a partner account manager with Sage Intacct and here to support the Armanino team as we discuss Sage Construction Management today.
Awesome. Today's learning objectives: learn how to leverage Sage's powerful tools to enhance efficiency, learn how to reduce costs and ensure project success from start to finish, determine value insights about how Sage Construction Management can prepare your company for growth. The agenda for today, we're going to talk about financial accounting versus construction accounting. We're going to talk about Sage Construction Management in terms of an overview, and then we'll jump right into the Sage Construction Management demo that Callie will provide for us. Before we get started, we do have our first polling question. Prior to this webinar, were you aware of Sage Construction Management? And this is an easy answer for you guys. You either know yes or no. All right. Oh, look at that. There's some people that had never heard of it. That's cool. Quite a few that have heard of it, though. Good deal. All right. So let's talk about financial accounting versus construction accounting. The construction industry benefits from the strength of core financials that Sage Intacct offers. However, there are some distinctions that we'll note as construction accounting that Sage Construction and Real Estate products specifically solve for. Construction accounting follows GAAP, generally accepted accounting principles, like other industries, but it has some distinct differences. In general, in the general ledger, finances are evaluated across the whole company, whereas the financial focus of job costing is placed on each job or project. So the need for granularity is more specific. Similar to the way a GL account structure impacts financial reporting, the job structure, or work breakdown structure, determines how costs are tracked and managed. Job costing breaks down costs by project, area of work and subareas, and type of costs. This enables you to allocate the estimate and cost to a certain component in the job structure. We'll look at this in more detail in a bit. Unlike retail or manufacturing, construction production happens at different job sites, even in different states, which has tax implications and is influenced by other government-related mandates. It also means tracking the cost of mobilizing tools and equipment, and sometimes labor. In addition to the accounting team that works in the back office, construction companies have field teams that work on the job sites. It's critical that information gets captured in the field and passed to the accounting team in the back office, and that both teams can access project information. Construction projects are not quick. This means we have special considerations with regard to accounting and revenue recognition that are dictated by standards bodies and the IRS. In addition, purchasing is not a single or isolated activity. It can happen multiple times with multiple documents over the life of the job. If you're accounting focused, think of job costing as a type of subledger where you're tracking the financial performance of each project. In Sage Intacct, dimensions deliver reporting insights, drive workflows, and secure views of information. Standard dimensions are part of core and cover the most common tracking requirements. With construction, you gain additional dimensionality to solve for construction accounting's complexity. Specialty dimensions extend capabilities for a particular need set. Dependent dimensions take specialized capability to a next level of insight. User-defined dimensions allow you to add any further managerial tracking you may require. Dimensions can easily be adjusted to your terminology. For example, department can be changed to cost center. Accounts are tagged for dimensional tracking where you need insight. Entities can share accounts and dimension values that make sense. For example, you may have common vendors across entities, but need to keep your customer lists separated. Sage Intacct is designed to keep your chart of accounts and dimension value lists manageable, flexible, and evolving with your business over time. Sage Intacct's dimensions pack power. From a reporting perspective, they allow you to easily report on your standard hierarchy, parent, child, grandchild, etc. And additional dimension groupings, so you add additional dimension groupings so you can present in alternate formats. Extend dimensions by adding custom attributes using a simple wizard, then use those to dynamically power reports, as we've done here with the revenue producers versus supporting department analysis view. Dimensions allow you to easily slice and dice your data for additional insight. Dimensions allow you to easily slice. So because dimensions easily allow you to slice and dice your data for additional insight, here we have a report where you can see we are expanding. So we have a column for each location, expanding our gross profit row by department and analyzing further on our utilities expenditures by vendor. And of course, you can easily drill to the source transaction and see how the dimensional coding flowed into the reporting insight. With that, we're going to jump into our second polling question. Sage Intacct Construction focuses on financial performance of projects as well as company-wide. Is that true or false? Good job. Looks like virtually everyone got the right answer. That is absolutely true. It allows you to focus on both the financial performance of projects as well as the company-wide financials. So great job. Well done. Today, the solution we are focusing on is Sage Construction Management. Because of the complexities inherent in construction accounting, Sage is committing to building out its entire suite of construction products. From construction to operations to financials to payroll, they have industry-specific solutions to help your construction organization thrive. In general, a construction project follows this life cycle, though the names of phases might change based on whom you're speaking with. Typically in the design phase, we've got drawings, specs, plans, and models. Usually in the work or the planning stage, we've got things like that WBS we talked about earlier, work breakdown structure, cost estimates, the schedule, risk management, procurement, and bidding. And then in the construction stage, we're looking at things like project management, cost control, billing, change management, document control, and compliance is also very big. And then when we get to the closeout and turnover, we're looking at things like our punch lists, operating manuals and warranties, and then the document closeout. Sage Intacct, in conjunction with Sage Construction Management, solves through the project lifecycle from pre-construction to operations to project financials. Sage Construction Management takes us into the front office. It streamlines construction operations, enabling customers with capabilities and tools to win more business and execute projects more efficiently. Additionally, Sage customers can align operational and finance teams to collaborate and work together towards improved job profitability. Some key benefits of Sage Construction Management are it operates in a modern cloud platform. It's built for collaboration and mobility. And together with Sage Intacct Construction, it is part of the end-to-end suite of construction products Sage offers. By the way, last month we had a Sage Intacct Construction webinar. I think you can find an on-demand recording of that on our website. If not, reach out to us and we can send that to you as well. We will quickly cover the different phases that we mentioned earlier in the construction project lifecycle and how Sage Construction Management handles each. In terms of pre-construction, where companies can manage leads from bids and estimating to awarded projects. Within this module, you have contact and lead management, the ability to upload and mark up drawings and specifications. You can build out your takeoff and estimate. Handle the entire invitation to bid or request for a proposal process, and utilize Sage's top-of-the-line Team Link portal. Project management, effectively and efficiently manage projects, contracts, and change orders. Scheduling and activity management, easily manage the schedule and activities of your resources. Field productivity, you can manage time, expenses, daily logs, and work orders. In terms of collaboration, you can manage issues, journals, RFIs, submittals, and transmittals. And as far as quality and safety, you can stay on top of quality and safety before they become issues. In terms of reporting, Sage Construction Management provides detailed reports for proposals, subcontracts, change orders, and progress invoices, log reports for project and features records, dashboards to provide an overview of project finances, and analytics to compare financials with budgets and drill down to see transactions. And on to one of those dreaded polling questions, number 3. You can complete bids in Sage Construction. You cannot complete bids in Sage Construction Management. Is this true or false? Cool thing with these polling questions is you got a 50-50 shot, right? All right, the majority of you got that correct. The answer is absolutely false. Bidding is entirely incorporated in the lead module within Sage Construction Management. Well done again. Okay. Let's see, did I skip one here? Let me go back here. Okay. An end-to-end suite, Sage Construction Management allows users to view key job costing and financial information, integrate this data with their accounting system, access from any location at any time on the device of their choice, and with external team members as needed. Collaborate and align all stakeholders within and across company boundaries. Construction time capture with clock in and clock out. Documentation with daily reports, including attached photos and videos. Project details, access, including drawings and specs, submittals, project directory, and so on. Field productivity with alerts, to-dos, work orders, RFIs, issues, and QC and safety with checklists, incidents, site hazard assessments, and more. One of the most powerful features of Sage Construction Management is its Team Link portal to allow for collaboration with key project personnel. Unlimited logins for outside team members, architects, consultants, clients, vendors, subcontractors, and more. Security to grant access as needed for necessary projects and companies. Real-time access and updates across all internal and external users. So basically, as we can see here, total end-to-end suite, as we've mentioned a couple times now, from pre-construction into ops, finance, and clear into payroll, construction management on that pre-construction and ops, Sage Intacct Construction handling that finance and payroll aspect. And then basically this slide, and you guys will get all these slides after the webinar. This is talking about the accounting links. So while Sage Construction Management and Sage Intacct Construction Financials are an integrated suite, Sage Construction Management is also available as a standalone product with accounting link utilities to integrate with other accounting solutions. Supporting accounting systems include Intuit, QuickBooks Pro, Premier, and Enterprise, QuickBooks Online, Xero, Sage 50, Sage 100, and Sage 300 CRE. And these are all the areas that we talked about just now in terms of a high level. So estimating, project management, and field staff, team link portal, and accounting. So let's jump into our fourth, don't worry, second to last polling question. Sage Construction Management only integrates with Sage Intacct for construction. True or false? This should be an easy one. So I expect everyone to get it right. No pressure though. This is going to be telling me if you've been checking your email in the back. Just saying. Right, the majority of you got this correct again. Sage Construction Management only integrates with Sage Intacct for construction. That is false. As we talked about, it also integrates with basically all the QuickBooks products, online, Premier, desktop, as well as Sage 50, Sage 100, Sage 300 CRE, and Xero. And with that, I'm going to turn this over to Callie so that she can show you the yummy demo that she's got prepared for you. Callie, over to you.
Thank you very much, Todd. We will pop over here to my screen. And this is what the home screen looks like when you log in to Sage Construction Management. So you'll see we've got an alert screen here. Most items throughout the software are due date or expiration date based. So any upcoming date-based items will populate on your home screen on your alert tab. So here I have a company insurance certificate that's expiring next week. It is letting me know that. If this company, if I clicked into it, if I wanted to see what company it was for, if they were in my TeamLink portal, like Todd mentioned in his presentation, they would also get that same alert letting them know that they needed to provide us with an updated copy. Let's touch on the settings really quick before we get into the software. Similar to Sage Intacct for construction, Sage Construction Management utilizes a role-based software to handle the permissions of various users. So you'll see here we have provided some pre-built roles when you are implementing your new construction management software. However, you can add additional roles as needed. Once you click into a role, you'll see that it is simply a matter of checking and unchecking boxes for the different modules within Sage Construction Management that you want a role to have permissions for. So if you have multiple project managers, if you have different levels of project managers, it's really simple to control what they see throughout the system. We also offer workflow or approval processes in contract administration and procurement. So if you choose to have a workflow process in Sage Construction Management, you can build that out here, as well as in our time and expense module. And finally, we offer an integration with DocuSign to allow you to send out all of these features, from bills and change orders to sub invoices and subcontracts, for e-signature directly from the system. This helps you eliminate that paper trail and for ease of access and quick turnaround times. So if we go back to our home screen, those are our two other callouts you'll see here. If we had any workflows turned on, you would see outstanding ones requiring your attention. Probably more importantly, you would see those workflows that are stuck in someone else's hands for you to be able to follow up, and then any that have been completed. Similarly, you'll see any outstanding e-sign documents. If you are in any other area of the software, you'll also get an alert here with this little notification bell. You can then access the list view, which we just saw, or you also have a calendar view option where you can see any upcoming due dates. These are all insurance-based, but if you had a bid due date or a project-related due date, those would populate on this calendar here as well. Let's go into contact management next. Your contact management is where you're going to want to have your records for any and all parties that might interact with you on a project. So everything from suppliers and subcontractors to customers, as well as your employees. The great thing about the direct integration with Sage Intacct for Construction is that all of these contacts are going to sync bilaterally between the two softwares. What that means is you have the option, based on your company's preference, to have your field crew utilizing Sage Construction Management to be able to make updates to the phone numbers or the addresses that they might receive out in the field. If you would prefer that your back-end team make those changes, you can default Sage Intacct to be the record, the contact record, or you can also choose to have it update the most recently, to utilize the most recently updated. So it will communicate between the two softwares. In addition to your basic information that you would have, your phone numbers, your addresses, you also have the option to store additional contacts that might not come from your accounting software. So if you have field contacts, if you have job-specific contacts, you can add those in your contact section. And then this is where you can keep track of your licenses and insurances for vendors. This is huge for vendor compliance. You also can keep multiple versions, so you can ensure that they have remained in compliance throughout their time in working with you. If we move into our cost database, you're going to want to utilize, I'm going to go ahead and expand this menu here so we don't have to go back and forth, but our cost database is where you will want to store frequently performed items that you might utilize in the bidding or estimating process. So if we were to take a look at our labor items and we want to look at our project managers, when we utilize a project manager hour in our bids, it will pull in our information that we store here. So we have a base cost rate, we have our labor burden associated here, giving us our total cost, as well as having a sell rate option. Not only do you have those levels, you can then store location-specific estimating rates or project-specific rates. This is great for contractors that might perform Davis-Bacon wage contracts to be able to store those project-specific time card rates. On the equipment side, you can utilize the equipment database for both internally owned equipment as well as rented equipment. You'll see your standard equipment manufacturer and model and body information, your ownership status here. And then you have some different rate options. You can have a runtime-based rate or a daily, weekly, or monthly rate. Similar to labor items, you have location-specific as well as project-specific. And then we also offer a service and repair history for owned equipment. It's just another way that you can utilize this software to simplify your entire construction operation. Simple to add a service record. This can be done from the field as well. Your work items are where you're going to want to get a little bit more specific. Again, the more detailed that you make your work items, the less work you have to do when you're building out your estimate or your bid. Any of these cost database items can be imported from Microsoft Excel or added manually. But when you click into a work item, you'll see now instead of just one rate, we are combining the typical breakdown of materials, labor, equipment, sub, and other for this single work item. We still are allowing for a base cost rate. You can add on any additional burden. If you choose to, you can have a markup on the individual work items. However, when we get into the estimate, I will show where you can also apply a global markup to the entire estimate rather than on the individual item level. If it is a material or equipment related, you can store the manufacturer information as well as default estimate comments. You also have the option to build out crews, work assemblies, or formulas in your database as well. If we move into our lead section, this is going to be as detailed or as beneficial to you as you want. So it doesn't act as a true CRM, such as a Salesforce or software like that. However, if you do track your leads and keep track of bids won, bids lost, you will then have some lead analytics available to you. Again, the alert calendar here, if you had upcoming bids due, when you click on the leads module, it will populate for you with upcoming due dates. When we click into a specific lead, you'll see basic lead information as well as the current stage that you're at. You have the option to upload your drawings. A great feature of Sage Construction Management is that if you have a PDF of all your drawings, when you import those, it will give you the option to burst those out into these individual pages or card style documents. What that allows you to do is to be able to send your architecture or your GC, only the applicable drawing sheet. So if you want to send your electrical subcontractor just these 3 electric drawing pages, you have the option to do that. If we were to click into one of the drawings, you also have annotate capabilities directly in the software. So we have some pre-built stamps for you to utilize. You can attach a image if you have a logo or a a signature that you want to attach. You have text options, drawing options, arrow callouts, really any type of annotation that you would want to do. You'll notice this link to Sage CM record up here. If you're already in the project stage, you then have the option to, so these drawings that you upload at the lead stage will follow if you convert that lead to a project. So if you are working and you have an issue and you create an issue record, you would then be able to come back into this drawing and link it to that specific issue that you had created just for additional documentation. We come back to our lead home, your specifications are going to act similarly. You can upload multiple versions of your specs and as well as having annotate capabilities for those. You can manage your entire invitation to bid process through Sage Construction Management. So if we were to navigate to our invitation to bid, you can pull in those contacts from your vendors from your contact management list. When the vendors receive an invitation to bid, they have an option to quick reply their bid status directly in the email. I think this is a great option. It makes it so they don't have to even log into the TeamLink portal to reply back and let you know that they are bidding, if they didn't respond on it, if they're not bidding, if they're still reviewing plans. It gives you early visibility to see if, one, you need to send out additional invitations. So it's really simple to add more vendors that you might want to invite to bid on this specific lead. And then it's a matter of resending that invitation. Here's where you can control what message you want to send out to the vendor and any linked files. So we're sending out our drawings and our specs with this invitation. And finally, we'll get into our estimate. You do have the option to store multiple versions of the estimate. However, only the most recent version will be available to view on the mobile app. You'll see here the import option. So we provide import templates accessible through our help center, which is right up here with this little question mark. Most of the items throughout the software are available for import with templates provided. If we click in to view our estimate, because of that integration, your cost codes are going to pull from Sage Intacct. However, if you had a unique project or you needed to add different cost codes, you would be able to have these options here where you can add them manually, import your master list, which would be from Sage Intacct, or copy from a section of another estimate. Our items are going to be where you build out your schedule of values that you are going to send with your estimate. So it's going to look similar to the work items that we looked at in our cost database. It's broken out by labor, material, equipment, sub, and other. You'll see if you've received any RFPs, you can associate the vendor pricing and as well as your manufacturer information and your cost and sell totals. Bid management is where you will view your RFPs that you have sent out through that invitation to bid process. You'll see here it's going to give you a quick overview of the number of companies that it was sent to, the number of bids that you received back, as well as providing some bid analysis. If you click into the RFP, you'll be able to see the bidders, the bids if they submitted them, and then you have some bid analysis available as well. This is that global markup section that I mentioned when we were in the cost database. We have some pre-built templates for you that are common markups that companies utilize, such as a basic fee, an insurance markup, or sales tax. However, the software is customizable. You can add additional markup templates. You can change the wording on these markup templates to have an overhead and profit. If you want to mark up just certain items, those are customizable by you. When you want to include scope for a bid or an estimate, you have the option to import your scope. So you have your inclusions, your exclusions, and your clarifications. When you go to send the bid out or the estimate out for acceptance, you do have the option to include scope in the PDF or Word document. So now we have our estimate summary. Here it's going to give you your sell and your cost breakdowns by those five areas. If you've included hours, it will give you an hourly rate or an hour total, as well as a unit sell rate for each area. And then you'll see we have a estimate sell breakdown as well as an estimate cost breakdown. Okay, so now we want to go ahead and view our proposal. You have some pre-built formatting options. You can update these templates. So I'm going to go ahead and exclude scope since I already showed you scope, and I'm going to include item pricing. And then I want to view this in a PDF file. However, I could save it to linked files if I wanted to, which would keep it on the lead record, or I could email it out for signature if I had an Adobe eSign account. Your estimate is customizable with your company's logo. So we have our project information, the recipient's information. I did choose to include scope. I forgot to exclude that once I changed to the item pricing view. And then you'll see it's our line items that we built out in the estimate. Since we chose to include the unit price, you can see the unit price here as well as the total. And then if we go all the way to the bottom, there's an area for signatures and acceptance of the proposal. Let's go back to our projects now. Let's say we won that lead. You have the option to add the project from the lead stage. What that does is brings over all of that information you created at the lead level, and it will convert it to the project. So your cost estimate becomes your project budget. Your sell estimate becomes your project contract, as well as the drawings and specs and all of the information that you added there comes over as well. If we wanted to look at our project list, we could view all of our projects here in a list view. You see you have some different options on how you might want to view those. If you just wanted to view it by their names, if you liked that card style, as well as some filters. So if you wanted to sort on different areas or start dates, you have various filtering options on most list views throughout the software. Let's go ahead and click into a project record. Your project home screen is going to look really similar to your lead home screen. You've got your basic project information. Rather than your current project stage, this is going to give you any open items that are outstanding on your project. So if you have any due in 7 days or more than 7 days, due in 7 days, or overdue items for all these various areas. Your favorites is customized to each user. So regardless of the role that they are assigned, each user will be able to have these quick access links to easily navigate through the software on high frequently performed items. If we come into our client contract admin, this is where you can award the prime contract and view the schedule of values. If you want to utilize a change proposal request process before you go to the change order process, you have that option here. Or you have the option to just go through a change order process. If we wanted to view a change order, you'll be able to view the status date. You can add additional columns if you want to this list view, as well as your filtering options. But if we were to click in, any change orders on both the contract level as well as subcontract change orders are going to give you this high-level breakout of the proposed total versus the original. If you reference any of those other items throughout the software, you'll see here if it had come from a change proposal request, we could reference that here. You'll be able to record any impacts to the schedule if necessary. Your change order items will pull in, these all came from this change proposal request, and then we added some additional ones, so you can track that information there. And then you'll be able to see the total change by the various resources, as well as the overall impact on the entire project. Any of these areas that has this linked files option, if you wanted to attach further documentation, it's really easy to drag and drop files here or add them by looking it up manually. If we come back to our contract admin, the other hot topic is our prime invoices. I know many contractors have a requirement to utilize an AIA style billing document. So if we were to go ahead and view our prime invoice details, you'll see here this form looks very similar to a standard G702, G703 AIA form. You'll have your project information called out as well as the appropriate contacts. You'll have your invoice number, contract number, the dates, and then you'll have your contract summary with your change orders, any retainage, your build to date, as well as your total for this invoice. If you go to page 2, that's when you'll see your schedule of values with the previous billings called out, current billings, and then balance to finish and percent complete on the entire line item. Let's go back to our project home and we'll go to our procurement overview. You'll see here all the various items that you can cover in the procurement area: purchase orders, subcontracts, sub change orders, as well as sub invoices. This is going to look very similar to a change order. All of these actions are very simple to utilize or to enter into the system. So you'll see on most you have the option to add from various areas. You can add them manually, you can import them from Excel, you can copy a previously used purchase order. If you wanted to utilize a work order process, you can add from a work order, from a change proposal or a change order, and then from any RFPs or from your projects directory. Your purchase orders are going to have any date-based information, again, because most of the items throughout the software are date-based. Then if you had populated this delivery date or reminder date, that will show on your alert calendar. You have your PO items broken out here. Again, you have the options to add those from various areas throughout the software, so it's not a lot of manual data entry unless you prefer it that way. If you had partially converted this PO, you would see the bill, or fully converted, you would see your bill summary here with the bill numbers associated with this PO. Okay, I'm going to show you one of my favorite tools that would have saved me so many hours as a controller for a construction company. This screen is such a great resource for project managers in the field. It gives them all of the current subcontracts on a specific project. So they're looking at this project record that we're in. It's going to show them all the vendors, all the subcontracts, any change orders, the revised total, all the way through to invoices they've received if they have any retainage withheld. I do have to scroll to the right here really quick. All the way to the most important question, when have I been paid? So this will pull the payment information back from Sage Intacct so that they can view this in the field really easily through our app or through the full mobile version or web-based version to let those subs know that, hey, we have issued you a payment. If they need to click into the record, they have that option here. But this summary screen is a great resource. You have a similar screen for purchase orders as well. Your project directory, I'm going to hit on the TeamLink portal now. So your project directory is where you're going to want to, you'll see here, it's all that same list as our contact management. However, you don't have to utilize all of the records in your contact management. So you have the option to add them from the directory, from a bidder list if you utilize that in the leads section. Or you can, if you're utilizing all the same vendors from a previous project, you have the option to copy from another project as well. You then can assign them a TeamLink role. With each role, you can give different permissions to documents that you're sending back and forth. So you have these pre-built ones as well as the option to add more. And then let's go ahead and look what it looks like if they were to receive an email to the TeamLink portal. So this is somebody's inbox. You'll see here that this person has several outstanding items for their TeamLink portal. If they clicked into one of these emails, they would have easy access to click on the link to go to the portal. They can create their login and their information. This is what the TeamLink portal looks like for a third party. So very similar to the home screen for Sage Construction Management. It has their active projects list. It has an alert section, like I mentioned. So any outstanding due date-based items. If they have any bid opportunities, they can click into those and view what you have chosen for them to be able to view under the bid. If they have any RFPs, they can click in and view the RFP. And then if they are currently working on any projects with you, they will have their active projects list. You'll see all the various areas that they can interact with you, so they can send bills or sub invoices directly through the TeamLink portal. They can view the pre-construction drawings and specs. If you have assigned them any quality control or safety or punch list items, they will be able to view all of that information through their TeamLink portal. And then they even get a financial picture tab for their performance on this project. So they'll have a little summary here of their subcontract as well as any invoices and the payments and current retainage. So here in the project directory is where you would manage the access for the various third parties. Our time and expense, we have clock in and clock out capabilities, as Todd mentioned. So you'll notice this little clock at the top of my screen. I have the option to clock myself in or clock my crew in. You then select your project and the contract, as well as the current cost code that you're working on for that day. Once you've selected that, you can easily clock in, you can start a break, you can switch a job cost code, or you can clock out. You also have the option to add comments on the record. If you don't want to utilize the clock in and clock out, you do have the option to import single or multiple equipment or labor time cards, as well as miscellaneous expenses. Our documentation. This is where I would imagine most project managers will live through the mobile app while they are in the field. So daily logs are a great tool that is very simple to use with the mobile app. General notes is you can use talk to text for them to be able to enter the day's activities. You'll see they can record the activities and the quantities that were completed that day. Weather and site conditions is really cool. It's going to pull from the address of the project and record the temperature, the weather conditions, and the site conditions. However, you can also add additional site conditions as well. So you see here we have 3 different times that they recorded the information. If you had any workforces on site, you could record that, as well as any major equipment or material deliveries, as well as visitors. So if the owner stopped by that day or a city inspector stopped by, you could record that information there. Another key tool in the documentation area is the ability to upload photos, as well as mark those up. You have the option to upload photos and view them in individual card style, or create albums for your storage of your photos. Our meeting notes, it also is very simple to record meeting notes. We have 2 different meeting options available. We have a coordination meeting as well as safety meetings. The awesome thing about the coordination meeting is once you've had one, so you see here our first one was in March. If we clicked into the record of our second coordination meeting, it'll have all your standard meeting information up the top. You can record the attendees. And then if we scroll down to our new and old business item area, it's going to pull in all of the new business item from your first coordination meeting into the old business item area. This makes it so that it's really easy to keep track of things. You'll see the original item referenced here, and then you can simply mark it as closed or leave it open for it to remain on the meeting notes for the next meeting. You can also record the next meeting date and time. In our quality control and safety area, you have some various quality control tools that you can utilize. You can build out checklists and assign those to different parties. So if you had different checklists for different phases, you can view it. You can then change the responsible company. If it's a subcontractor, you can change it to them, and they will get that alert that it's assigned to them as of this due date. You also have the option to build out your punch list when you're closing out a project. So you'll see here we have built out our punch list with the description, the location, the due date, and then the responsible company. So this painting contractor has 3 open items on my punch list. If I were to select that, and then I can email those responsible companies directly from this punch list screen. You'll see I also have the option to create my punch list from an inspection as well. In our safety area, we have those site hazard assessments that we can store in the system. You'll see here that we can record our inspectors. We can assign different site hazard items, we have the option to import those. And then we also have site hazard items where we can keep track of the different potential issues or items that we need to keep track of on a job site. If we had any safety incidences, we can record that. And then our safety meetings, which are going to look very similar to the coordination meeting. You can record the attendees, you can record general notes. Again, talk to text works really well for ease of use in the field. You can cover specific safety items if you want. You can add linked files and keep that record right in the system. Okay, that's a lot of project management. Let's now hit on our project analytics. In addition to all of this information flowing to Sage Intacct and you having the incredible power of reporting and dashboard capabilities within Sage Intacct for construction, you also have analytics available for you directly in Sage Construction Management. So you see you have some options here. You can view it for single projects or multiple projects. In all of these areas, you have both pre-built summary dashboards as well as analytic reports available to you. So you have overview, revenue, cost, vendors, labor, equipment, etc. Your favorites, again, is customized by user. So if you have commonly run reports, you can just easily add those by clicking on the star. Our WIP dashboard are going to look, any dashboards are going to have a similar look. This is a commonly used one, our work in process. So you'll see here we have some cards calling out high-level information of the project. You have a graph, and then you have the detail broken out for your over or under billing calculation. If we wanted to look at what a report style might look like, most of the reports are going to have some filters across the top here for you to be able to change different views of the report. This is a committed cost, so it's pulling in all of our costs against this project. Any of our reports, you have the option to export it. And then if you'll notice, this dashboard and these reports are opened in separate tabs from my software that I was working in. This allows you to be working, easily toggle back and forth between the reports that you're looking at and then in the details. This data will automatically refresh every 30 minutes. However, you have the option to force the refresh of the data. So in addition to Sage Intacct, you have extensive reporting and analytic capabilities in this software as well. I'll just hit really high level on the vendor hub. This is where you can keep track of all your AP information from sub invoices to bills. You have an OCR reader where you can actually import bills if you wanted to. Those two dashboards or list screens that I showed you, the subcontract financial information is easily viewed from here as well as being able to just click into any vendor and have a summary level information of that vendor's activity, whether it's they're working on a current project for you or not. So I think I might have too many tabs open. But you'll see it will give a summary of their insurance and license, financial information. You'll be able to see outstanding transactions with that vendor easily there. Equipment is just going to show you your equipment hour information, as well as your equipment from your cost database, similar to your HR module showing you your labor time cards. You also have quick access for reporting and analytics over here on the left. Okay, Todd, with that, Todd, I think I have hit all the major points of what is available with Sage Construction Management. So I will turn it back over to you for any questions we may have had and to wrap up.
Awesome. Thank you, Kelly. Well done. That was a lot of information you packed there in a short period of time, I would say. Let me share my screen. Okay. And let me go over to Sage, so our final polling question. Sage Construction Management charges for access to the Team Link portal. Is that true or is that false? Virtually everyone got it right. It is false. It is part of Sage Construction Management. There's no additional charges for access to the Team Link portal. You can have unlimited folks from the outside as part of your external team, et cetera. So very, very cool from that perspective. All right. This wraps up this webinar. Really appreciate your attention. The next webinar in this series is called Sage Intacct Real Estate, where we will talk about Sage Intacct Real Estate for any folks that are real estate developers out there. That's on October 16th from 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And if you have any additional questions, please reach out to us at experts@armanino.com. Thank you very much, guys, and have a great day. Thanks, Callie and Allie. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Todd.